Okay, so next, I got the side finished, it's completed on the other part. So now what I'm going to do is work on these pieces here. If you look at the game, if you notice, they have like this, I don't know what it is. It's just some kind of, it's just a double piece right here to give it some texture, or like a three-dimensional look. And then down here in this piece here is actually is double thick. So that's what I'm going to do next, and add to my side piece. Okay, so here's the front of the piece. It's finished. I have the rope in there and the black screen behind it. So now you really can't see through it. Anyway, this piece, this bottom piece down here is 2.5 inches. So what I did is I cut a big long strip out, 2.5 inches long, wide, and cut a long one out, and that's just going to cover the entire bottom of it and take up the whole thickness. Then I got two skinny ones here. These are roughly, I think they're like 1 inch piece, 1 inch thickness. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to glue this down. Remember the smooth side in, so you got the texture side out. And then up here is like an angle. I want it to overhang like that. And then back here in the back, I'm going to cut it just a little bit beyond where the back of the piece ends there. What you do is just stick them on here, line it up, get a straight edge, and just make your line across here and cut it, and that's how you get your diagonal. The first piece is going to fit down here in the bottom, and it's going to be perfectly flush for the inside of the hole. So this one glues exactly right on there. The next one is going to go right next to it. Let's see, about right there. See, I got like a little bit of a gap. What I used to get that gap was a scrap piece of this foam. It's a 1/4 inch thick. I laid it in there. I had a real long piece of it, and I laid it in there, and then all I did is just buttered up my other piece to it, and then I went along and glued it like that. And then when the glue dried, I took it out, and then I had my gap. When you get done, it should look like this here. If you see, look at it, I got the bottom piece on it. It overhangs. So here it overhangs right there. I left it long. In the back here, I left it long here also to the back of it. Okay, so now I got both of the front pieces done. I got the bottom 2.5 inch piece glued on, and the two 1 inch ones up on top. And they're both the same. Actually, I got to looking at it, and the back does need to be cut flush with the back of the piece here. And the same thing up here has to be cut flush. And the same with the other one. I got to comparing it to the other one, and I beveled the other piece, not this actual piece here. So this one has to be cut flush in the back. So run a piece to the end and cut off the extra so it's even with this right here. Okay, so now I'm going to get the side pieces. I need to bevel those and get those ready, and then I'm going to glue them on and attach the front piece next. Alright, before I can glue my two pieces together, I have to bevel the leading edge, the part that has the double stacked 1 inch pieces. If you look at it right now, it's a square, so when you butt it together, you'll have a funny looking gap. So I need to bevel that. So what I do to bevel it, real quick, I lay the ruler, or the straight edge on it here, like that. And then you take your blade. Normally you'd cut it, straight, but to get the beveled edge, you turn your blade in an angle and run it along the metal, your straight edge. So I'm going to do it maybe about 45 degrees angle, and I'm going to run it all the way down to end, the whole front of it, and get my beveled angle. Alright, so here is my side piece, and then a back piece to the helmet. If you look now, when I go to line them up, the top part is not exactly the same height now. That's okay. Once it's glued together, I'm going to have to go around the top, and I'm going to add another piece, a cap to it, and that overlays it, and then it'll be the same height as the piece that I glued on. Alright, so now I'm going to attach this piece to that, but before I do that, I got to cut a bevel on. See how it's square? I'm going to cut about a 45 degree angle bevel on this side here and on the other side. So when I fold it over, it'll fit flush. So I'm going to go ahead and bevel out both of the sides right now. Okay, now if you look at it, I have my bevel cut out. So when I go to fold it up, see, it'll fit flush, have a nice tight fit. Something that I did before though, as if you can see, I got a little piece of tape on there. I buttered it up real tight, and I put a little piece of tape on it so it's like a hinge. Okay, so now when I go to glue it, all I gotta do is run a little bead of glue, and then when I bend it over, the other side will be nice and tight and have a nice flush fit to it. And then you just hold it up here like that to get the angle for it. If not, you have to try to butter it up, with your hands and stuff, and the edges would be slipping off. So this way here, having it taped, it keeps it hinged, and make sure you get like a nice clean fold on it, clean bend on it. So now I'm going to do that in both of the pieces and glue it and let it dry. Okay, so now I got my angle put on there, my piece. See how it's got a nice tight seam right there. Anyway, when you glue it, make sure it doesn't fit flush with this piece up here. The reason is, later on, once the helmet's put together, another piece, I'm going to be making another piece that's going to continue this right here. It's going to continue right here. It's going to wrap around here. So another piece is going to glue on top of that. So you need that little step right there. It needs to be flush with the bottom piece. Alright, now I'm going to glue the halves together. Alright, so now I got the two front pieces all taped up along with the tape. Got a little hinge on it. I got my two little pieces here on the ends ready, so when I fold it over, I can join it. When I glue it together, I can join it and then it'll hold the shape. So now I'm going to flip it over and run some glue down here. And then you can actually see my bevel. I think you can tell. It's kind of hard to tell. But it's beveled pretty far, a pretty good bit, because the front of it's pretty, it's got a steep bend to it. So I think they're actually a little bit more than 45 degrees. You'll know if it's not enough when you have it taped and you go to fold it over, and it doesn't fold over enough. It'll be real shallow, so you will need to bevel it more. But you'll see when you go to fold it over. Now I'm going to run some glue on there and join these two pieces together. Okay, now I got it folded over and it's glued. And if you look at the bottom, you can see I got my two pieces in there. That's what's holding the correct width. My glue gun got a little bit hot, and you can see it kind of melted a hole right there. And another one there. That's alright, because later on I'm going to go back and fill it. I could either use glue or putty, and I'll fill the hole back in. And then when you paint it, you won't even see this stuff here, so it's alright that, if you melt it. Try to avoid it if you can, or set your temperature on your glue gun to low so it doesn't melt the foam. But anyway, that's that part there. Now I have to add the two back pieces, and then I'll have the whole shape of the helmet complete. Alright, so here's the back piece. You see I got it glued together. I got the angle on it. So now I'm going to do the same thing. I have it hinged to the side of it now, like that. And what I'm going to do is open it up, run a bead of glue through it, and do the same thing. Just fold it over. Except this one, when I get it folded over, I'm going to have to hold it. I'm going to have to flip it all the way over and then tape it to this side here to hold it. On this last piece here, I'm going to have to glue from the inside, since I can't do it the same way. I can't hinge it over. So once I close it all up, it'll hold its shape when the glue dries. And that'll be the last piece, and the whole thing be put together. Okay, so here it is, all complete. I mean, well, at least all the pieces glued together. This is the overall size of it here. You see the pieces. I got the side, the front piece here, then the side, and then the back. That's how it came out there. That's it. That's pretty much the whole thing, all together. So now's the fun part. I want to start adding the detail and stuff to it. I'm going to start adding a bolt on the side here, another one here, and I got to finish wrapping around. Like I was saying earlier, I got to wrap around here. And then on top up here, I got to finish wrapping around there. There's like a little tip